Hello, everybody. Welcome to Irongeek Cast number 163, Pandemic Party. How's everybody doing today?
I'm doing amazing, brother.
God damn it.
Okay.
I had to.
The face tracking has gotten pretty good.
Yeah, it's definitely getting better.
Think how much information is going through that app right now.
Oh, okay. My stuff's back. I'm doing pretty good. Been working outside a lot over the last probably 5 days since about Saturday, but it rained a ton last night and it rained the night before, so the ground is just completely saturated. So I can't even get like the lawnmower out in the backyard right now, or it'll just like try to sink. So gotta wait for my makeshift pond to die away and leave, and then get back to having 4 trees. Well, I started off with 4 trees. I'm down to 2 left that need to get cut up and put into the burn pile. Well, I got them cut up, just not transferred to the burn pile yet. Yeah, I actually had a bonfire Saturday night. That thing reached about 30, 35 foot. That was pretty stinking high.
It's been a while since I've been to a good bonfire. Last time was probably Mary's.
Yeah.
But of course, I think her normal hackers on the farm, which would probably be coming up, been delayed to the fall, of course.
Oh, yeah.
That's okay. Fall's probably a better time to have it as far as heat's concerned.
Yeah.
Maybe if we're going to do a death hike again, at least we'll see fall colors.
Yeah, the hike, was that last year or the year before last?
Year before last.
Yeah, man, that hike. You still complain about it. That's how bad it was.
Dude, I've been going out hiking, and I don't know if I was that worse in shape, but egads, after the backpack was shit, and none of us had backpacks that were designed for doing hiking like that. I hollowed up my laptop backpack to make it somewhat function. Originally, Mary was wanting us to strap on a bunch of Yobicon backpacks, and I was like, oh, no, that's not going to function.
Nope.
That would just destroy your collarbone area.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, come on, but
sore.
Well, at least you tried.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there were just too many of us whining.
It probably would have been different with the horse. I don't know.
Yeah, because that was the original intention, was to have 1 or 2 horses to kind of pack all this stuff in and out, so that we wouldn't have to physically carry everything in and out. Because it was how far? 3 miles in or something? Like to get all the way down to the pond or lake.
Yeah, I know we got about halfway and we said, okay, it's already dark. We better stop.
Yeah, it was getting pretty dark pretty quick. But yeah, Jack, how was your week?
Good.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Awesome. Cappy?
Not a quarantine tomorrow or a mandatory, so I get to go pick up what I said I was going to be able to pick up last week that I couldn't go pick up. So.
You mean Deaf Canada? What the hell does that mean?
What?
Oh, someone was commenting on a previous video. Never mind. I thought it was commenting on this Irongeek cast. They're commenting on the last one, I think.
Gotcha. Did you call them, Cappy, and make sure that they were aware of the situation?
Yeah, they called me, and then I explained the situation. They said, yeah, it's good for like 30 days, so just get in whenever you're good. I'm like,
sweet.
Cool. Only took them a week, so.
Yeah. Hey, but at least you know you got that waiting for you.
Yippity-doo-dah. And I got the ammo early enough because you can buy ammo.
Well, now we know what it is.
Yeah. I talked about it last week, so I don't know. I just didn't want to have the record for fastest way to demonetize the live stream.
Oh, the amount of guns on YouTube is insane.
Which is cool, but none of it's monetized.
What?
No, none of that stuff's monetized, dude.
No.
then I should never ever see a freaking ad if it's not monetized.
Well, you've seen like them do in video ads, right?
Yeah, but they got ads before, they got ads after, they got in
Yes,
video.
but the content creator doesn't get a cut of that.
Well, that's complete crap if
Yeah.
they don't do any type of monetization, because I still have to endure being monetized against.
Yeah, I got
Yeah.
RedTube or YouTube Premium or whatever they're calling it now.
Oh,
I
the
don't see
red
that.
or something? Yeah. Yeah, that's absurd. So anybody who's firing guns, doing reviews on guns, talking about cleaning, anything like that is all demonetized.
Pretty much. That's why if you ever notice, like they'll say to support me, please go to my Patreon or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of them are that way because YouTube, even like they used to only allow like basically viewing it, or like you couldn't even fire it, but that's all you could do. So like now even that is kind of against their policies for monetization.
Interesting.
Anything to keep that ad revenue in house.
Yeah, apparently.
Now, so they'll display ads like the actual YouTube ads before a video, maybe after a video, but YouTube gets that money. They don't.
Yeah. Man,
Yeah,
that's aggravating.
And that's why I have a fucking ad blocker.
Same.
Yeah, if you're gonna run ads,
What's an ad blocker?
Someone gave me shit because I had ads on Irongeek, channel. And I'm like, well, they're gonna run ads regardless. I might as well get a cut.
Yeah, and most of people who are going to look at it are going to have some type of ad blocker, so it's really for those who don't have any type of ad blocking.
But expecting people to have ad block, that's a
Yeah.
type of gatekeeping. Or something. That's one of those phrases along with gaslighting that I now find annoying.
I don't know. Anytime I hear gaslighting, I just think back to, feet up, legs up in the air, lighting a fart. That's what I'm thinking of with gaslighting.
I've never successfully done that maneuver before.
I did a long, long time ago when I was much less intelligent.
Let's say less wise.
Yeah.
And more limber.
Oh yes, definitely more limber. and I could flatulate at a moment's notice. That's not quite the case anymore. I'm older now.
Now it's just you flatulate at a moment's notice, but it's not on command.
Yeah, that's whenever I asked my wife, "Was that you?" "Oh, that was me." Huh.
Women don't fart; they toot.
That's what I tell my son. Is anytime that he farts, I'd say, "Oh, Ethan tooted." There are a lot of kids shows on tonight, like movies. Did you know Tom and Jerry and like Bugs Bunny and some of those back in the day actually had like movies, not just like the 30-minute cartoons. There was a Tom and Jerry that was the Wizard of Oz, and they went through like all the main. It was like 2 hours long, and they hit on all the main points within the Wizard of Oz, but injected Tom and Jerry into it too.
Oh, see, I haven't seen that. I've seen Tom and Jerry back in the day. I haven't seen it in years.
Yeah, I had no idea they ever, and that was still back in like the 60s. You know, some of the original stuff. I had no clue they did those, kind of movies. And The Wizard of Oz wasn't the only one, but I did watch probably half of it though with my son. But yeah, there were other ones too. It's crazy.
Yeah, they're still making those. There's like, I remember one coming out 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Hey, you finally have a beard that's better than mine.
Okay, we'll go back to this one.
It's still better than mine.
Finally. Uh-oh. Sounds like we're coming in from outside. And the whines are persistent.
Squeeze them a little more. You might get some good sangria out of that.
Oh, speaking of something good to drink. So I had vodka that was infused with oh crap, what was it? Okay, give me a minute. I'll look it up and let you know. I just totally forgot what that liquor is.
It's understandable. All right, Adrian, how was your week?
Pretty uneventful. Probably a bunch of stuff I need to get fixed as far as my technology once this is all over. Like my laptop not always getting enough power to actually charge the fucking battery. I also need to get a battery fixed in my car now that I think about it. Though now that the weather's a little warmer, it's starting up okay.
Nice. So I just muted Israel, by the way, just
Okay.
so that we weren't talking over or trying to talk over Ethan. No worries though. All right, Darren, how you doing?
No, I'm doing fine. Just like last week, I took this week off of work, so I've pretty much been doing fucking all. It's kind of fucking my sense of time right now, actually.
Mm-hmm. FFL stuff still going strong.
Yeah, actually, I just got a shotgun yesterday for another customer, so hopefully he'll be here tomorrow for that, and that'll be the last for a while.
I'm gonna try and guess what it is. Is it the Mossberg 590
Nope.
Shockwave? Dang it.
Nope.
The Remington version of that?
Nope.
I don't know. It's a Saiga, isn't it?
Nope.
Yeah, I saw Colin Noir try to shoot one of the Sagas, and he was having a really hard time keeping it to feed properly.
Did he say which country it was from? Because I'm pretty sure they are kind of the same with AKs, unless I'm completely wrong.
They're based on the AK, but Saga is a particular company. I think they may have a U.S. manufacturing too now. I'm not sure, but I think it's originally a Russian company.
Well, there's the name about Eastmash, I believe. But there's a lot of companies that make them now, too. So, a lot of it also made from AK receivers and whatnot, too.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep. Sorry,
Okay.
I didn't get you over.
I know, I heard. So that vodka was infused with cognac. And it was pretty sweet, but man, that tasted good. So good.
I'll try that the next time that I can leave the apartment to go to a liquor store.
You haven't had any runners? You know, any liquor home deliveries?
No, so I actually checked.
Actually, I might have something for you on that one. Well, because I don't know about Kansas. I don't know. Can you buy liquor at a grocery store?
Not liquor. You can buy beer, though.
Okay, yeah, same here in Texas. You buy beer or wine. You have to go to an actual liquor store for liquor. Uh-huh. But if there's a Total Wine near you, chances are good it has delivered to Instacart. I actually used them yesterday because I figured, fuck it, why not? And Total Wine was on there, so you could buy beer and wine and spirits and have them delivered to your door that way.
Let me check if there is one near me.
I don't know. I always have my shit mailed.
Well, yeah, but I can't have it mailed here in Texas, so.
I thought you got it from the back of the car.
No,
they came in these little mason jugs.
No, not that. No, I'm talking about the stuff that comes in mouthwash bottles and it's got a greenish tint to it.
Oh, okay. That's the interesting stuff.
That's one way to put it. Yeah, there isn't a Total Wine near me, but I have looked at like delivery options for that stuff. So that was, I guess my development is new enough, the one that I'm living in, that they won't service me. So,
man, doesn't that suck whenever you hear somebody won't service you?
I guess it's like, hey, I'm about to ready to pay you money, and they're just like, nope.
Oh, by the way, in case my laptop begins to die and I say I'm going to shut mine down, I just put the key in the Jitsi chat that maybe Caprico can pick it up if I somehow fail.
For the stream?
Yeah.
Okay.
So far it's going okay, but it's
Okay. I will figure it out if it dies or if I
you
have
see
to kill
Adrian
it.
go away, you know what happened.
Adrian go die. Wait, no.
All right, let's get into the show notes.
Yes. All right. Announcements. I believe it's the same as last week where we have all of the cons that either Adrian or someone else on the cast is going to that have been postponed. Minus the Who's Your Hacker Con webinars link. I'm pretty sure that's new.
Yeah, they
right,
got
Adrian?
they got Gillis Jones speaking tomorrow night, and got a few other people lined up who just haven't given me a title yet. I need a title and a bio. If anybody else is interested in speaking on that, I can hook you up with the right people.
Good. CFP still open or call for papers still
Yeah,
open?
it's still open.
Yeah. So go get your stuff in. Come to Louisville. It'll be fun.
Well,
More bourbon.
more or less Louisville, Jeffersonville, in Indiana.
We'll walk over the bridge. It'll be fine. Nothing like getting really, really hammered and walking over a very busy bridge.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. There's guardrails there. It's not like you're walking out in the road.
Depends on which bridge you also go across. The Second Street Bridge is a little bit paranoid making because I have a problem with really wide open spaces. But if you go to the Big Four Bridge, it's no big deal. There's plenty of wide walking path. And plenty of people too, but maybe not right now. By September, hopefully.
We'll be good.
Well, I mean, I'm glad that Greg Fisher finally closed down the park. So yeah, because apparently there was some neighborhood youth groups that decided to get together at Waterfront Park and have a good old fashioned fight.
Oh, shit.
Ooh, interesting.
I don't remember my youth group ever doing that. That sounds actually way more fun.
They're not talking about a religious youth group, I don't think.
No.
It's funnier now. All right. So, check out those webinars. CFP still open, and so is DEF CONs, by the way, which I just submitted to like 2 days ago. Apparently, I can't read and did it wrote up my CFP in an hour, so I'm not getting picked, and I had a month left instead of an hour. Because it said like it said April 30th, and I thought it said March 30th, and I lost track of time. Anyway,
What time is DEF CON this year?
so far, it's the same I think it was last year, so give me a second here. DEF CON will begin on Thursday, August 6th through the 9th. And its theme this year is Discovery,
All right.
which they're trying to make it less InfoSec and more hacking.
That I'm kind of good with. That
That's-
should happen.
Yeah, I don't want to see a DEF CON or a Black Hat that is VendorCon time AI.
Well, Black Hat is already
A
VendorCon.
VendorCon I get. I'm just going to call it VendorCon from now on.
Yeah.
VendorCon I get.
I mean,
but DEF CON
let's
was
see.
still pretty...
Both the stickers right here. Okay, left one is car salesman slaps roof of Black Hat. This bad boy can fit
Hang on a second.
so much vendors in it.
I actually have that. Hang on a second.
That sticker is on my laptop.
All right, I was wrong. It's not on my laptop. my laptop has the version of that meme that says car salesman slaps roof of Windows XP and says fits so many like malware samples or something.
That's on the right side of my computer. So that one says car salesman slaps roof of Windows. This bad boy can fit so much shells in it.
That one? This one?
Oh, it's close. No, mine's slightly different. I need that one.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I got this one. I want to say, I think DEF CON 8.
Okay.
I think it was the first DEF CON that I went, or sorry, DerbyCon 8. DEF CON 8, I was like, maybe an afterthought.
Ooh, I kind of like this one. Oh.
It's actually segmented. Oh, that's cool. A bunch of zeros and ones in 8 bytes.
Yeah.
Or in 8 bits.
Yeah, I'm kind of liking that.
Nice. All right. Breach report. Go to the man in blue.
Yes. And I don't know what is causing it. And if you guys are seeing the same thing over on YouTube, I'm seeing our like Jitsi chat up on YouTube for the last like while.
That's not good.
Yeah, that's you, Irongeek. You left it up there.
Well, as long as I'm still the one streaming, I don't think it will accept another stream. So let's see what happens.
There you go. OSINT is strong today. Okay.
Well, see, I'm
Breach
used to it
report.
streaming directly from Jitsi out there, but we haven't been able to do that since the pandemic. Well, actually, one time we could.
Yeah, that's what happens. OPSEC was the word you were looking for. OSINT would be how they hack us now.
Yes.
Yeah, voice is not going to be in sync, dude. How we had to jury rig this, it's not going to be in sync.
Oh wait, sorry, voices aren't in sync?
That's according to this one dude, yeah.
Oh, interesting. Just comment. Voice not in sync, bro. Interesting. Okay. Well, that's good to know.
Yeah. Apologies, Jitsi is basically on fire because everyone who got scared at Zoom went to Jitsi and Teams and.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of schools are moving to Teams.
Well, Teams isn't that bad.
I don't know. I found it to be kind of a pain in the ass, but
Well, I mean, as long as you're not doing the setup. But I mean, basically, end user. From an end user perspective, it's pretty straightforward.
yeah. I mean, and they're all about the same, right? Although I do like Zoom being able to do some of the stuff I'm doing with Snap Camera. You can do kind of natively within Zoom, which is nice. You can't do that like on WebEx or Teams or anything like that. And WebEx, like nobody's mentioning WebEx. What? And I actually have a WebEx. What happened with WebEx? Are they just not?
They're just running with the punches. Like all the
Right.
customers that are already there are still there. So.
Yeah, but I don't think they've really expanded any. At least I don't feel like they have, because it really was like a massive rush to. Well, I mean, WebEx is Cisco, but it was a massive rush just like straight to Zoom for everyone. It seemed like.
Marketing.
I mean, I wouldn't know on my end. I just know that WebEx is a pain in the ass for my employer because if the bandwidth is being starved up by WebEx meetings, yeah, it's a pain in the ass.
Yeah. And two, they're going to want to have, those WebEx meetings have priority over, and have the rights on the bandwidth. Yes.
Yeah. Let me look up. It's Cisco.
Yeah. Cisco.
Cisco stock.
Yeah. Anything they can't create, they just buy. So what have they bought? Everything.
Minus Skype. Microsoft bought that.
Well,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, they already had WebEx.
Past month. So in the past month, which is when everything really started to kick off, and we went into a 30-day blah blah blah, federally at least, state to state it's a little different. They pretty much dipped from $40 a share to 33, and slowly have done the up and down, up and down, up and down to the point that they're now higher than they were when they started at the beginning of the month.
Oh, okay.
To today.
Wait,
So, I mean,
beginning of the month or like since beginning of like March?
Beginning of March.
Oh, okay.
To today. So March 1st ish.
Because essentially, you're going to take
March 9th.
Different stock prices and kind of evaluate it against the Dow and the NYSE and everything, right? And I think, where's the Dow at now? 23,000? Somewhere in there? I can tell you pretty quickly.
23,433.57. And it is up 3.44% or plus 779.71 finance points.
Yeah. So essentially, most companies that you're looking at now, you're evaluating against like the Dow and some of those because they've gone up and down close to the same percentages. So, that's actually good for Cisco. A little on the surprise side, not so much though. They have a fairly strong base, but yeah, they've actually come out better than the vast majority of companies.
Yeah, so has Microsoft. What is it? Microsoft, Apple, Amazon.
Other any that are deemed, critical or are still fully operational, delivering goods and services, right?
Yeah, and then my thing was when I was looking at least from the financial aspect of like where is everything going to hit. If you wanted to get in early, you would have gone for like Costco, Walmart, any of your local food shops that were letting people walk out with like 20 packages of toilet paper.
Yeah.
Because that's still a sale, which then it means they buy more revenue, which means the value of their company goes up. They buy more inventory, value of their company goes up. And then if you really, really stuck around for that, and they were having like 8% jumps, at least Costco was, like on the daily, they had like an 8% jump for like 4 days, which is really good and really out of the norm, obviously, because you don't have a virus every day that causes people to go to Costco to buy 32 packs of toilet paper.
Yeah, you don't have some of these mega companies start having waves, right? Because whenever waves start occurring, those are usually nice if you can ride them appropriately from a stock perspective.
Yep.
But having these mega companies that have financial backing who aren't going to be folding, in a 2-week time frame type of setup, to actually have waves start to occur, oh my gosh, that's a beautiful thing from an investment perspective.
Yeah, what I would have seen as like the best play would have gone, like obviously going to Walmart. And then I think it was like 2 days ago, Fed or the White House or just the federal government put in an order for all of the face masks and that kind of stuff for hospitals because our supply is out or whatever.
Yeah, we should talk about some of that stuff. I mean, because I don't know what all the and not necessarily right now, but here later in the cast, because I don't know what all the other states are doing, and hopefully you guys are maybe up to date on what some of your states are doing. But yeah, I am not 100% versed on everything we're doing, but I have a pretty decent understanding of what Ohio is doing.
Fuck it up.
Not really.
At least it's not Wisconsin.
Yeah, I mean,
they held an election yesterday.
Yeah.
like an in-person election yesterday, and
Yep.
yeah.
It's like,
I think it was-
who showed up for that? That's
I think
what
everybody
did. Everybody did because they
Did
were
they
pissed.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were pissed. They were
Holy
like,
crap.
there's a big issue there. New York Times has a good podcast on it, explaining it, and I think it was yesterday's entry because they were like, "This is amped up."
yes, that is. Okay, let's hit some breaches. First up, Maze ransomware group. So I labeled this Berkine false victim. So Berkine is a apparently very large oil quote unquote giant, and they were hit by the Maze ransomware group. At least that's what has been attributed, and the group did leak the data online. So the leaked data includes their cost price per barrel, organizational goals for the year 2020, budgets allocated for various missions of the two owners. Database also contains a list of employees, including their contact details, travel documents of some of them. But yeah, so they were hit. And it sounds, I'm guessing then they did not pay the ransom since their data has been released online. So
yeah, that's what it looks like. Or they just preemptively did it because they're like, "Oh, oil company, F you."
yeah. Agency. So blah blah blah. The agency also identified that the group employs extreme tactics. These are not extreme. To pressurize the victims who refuse to pay the ransom or delay the payment. They not only encrypt the data, but also exfiltrate it prior to encrypting it and later use it to blackmail the victim into paying their desired ransom. Moreover, the group keeps releasing some of the data and even posts it on hacker forums for phishing purposes if the victim doesn't give in to their demands. Yep, that's what we are now starting to see a lot of. And two, the nice thing about this, which if you are, you have your SOC, you have your appropriate detections in place, the kind of place that ransomware is going to now is actually advantageous for you. Because they're getting into the environments, they're sitting there for a week, 2 weeks, making sure that they know where your backups are, that they can attack your backups, so they're actually going to be in your environment for a period of time to be able to attack these things, to be able to exfiltrate data, that is a very nice time span for you to be able to detect them and shut them down before they actually release the ransomware. So it's a give and take on their part, right? So yeah, this is probably one of the better things that could have happened for the defensive side of security, just because it's like WannaCry, no PETA. They come in, they're ransacking through an environment, and boom, they're out in minutes to hours. What they're doing now with exfiltrating the data and trying to destroy backups, that takes time, that takes research, that takes just an understanding of your network and your environment. So that's giving you additional time to be able to detect it and potentially and hopefully stop it. So it's unfortunate that this data was stolen, but this is actually kind of a good thing for blue teamers.
Definitely, but also at the same time, from what and this is Maze, and Maze hasn't been around to add on to like the whole research aspect. We haven't talked about Maze ransomware group in a couple months.
Yeah, it's been a couple months, yeah.
Yeah, so they've almost kind of dropped off as a big player, quote unquote.
But two, they're not the only ones utilizing these tactics. This is where
Right.
almost everybody is moving to.
Yeah, because the reason that they're doing that is you can just either set because of breach insurance.
Yeah.
So or ransomware insurance or whatever you want to call it. Because you could even if you get hit, it almost like pays you more to be negligent and then just if all your stuff gets encrypted.
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily. Not
I
all
mean,
the
because
time,
most
but-
of the insurances, you have to be able to prove that you are at kind of a certain threshold before they will issue any type of an insurance, right?
Depends what the insurance is, though.
I mean, you could get something
that
that gives
standard
that
is.
pays out like $50K or something, and you're a megacorp, but to actually try to have an insurance policy that fully pays out against what your full impact is, like you don't necessarily have to have 365 monitoring or SOC or anything, but they're going to want to see that you have sufficient types of detections on your endpoints. I mean, there's going to be a small list of things that you got to walk through, and normally it's not that hard. I mean, there are a few insurances that I've seen that you could get away with even just like a hash and signature based antivirus. We're not even talking like EDR. But that's definitely not like all the insurances.
Yeah, no, and that's for sure. But which one do you think a financially inclined C-suite member is going to go for? The super expensive and we have to do a ton of shit on our end, or the easy setup, we check it off and we're good? Again, depends on the person. But.
Yeah, but too, you're going to be looking at what the payout would be.
Mm-hmm.
Because if there's all these additional steps that you have to look at to actually get any payout at all, they may be looking at this other insurance and upgrading their infrastructure. But yeah, there's definitely going to be times where somebody's going to lowball and just go for the cheap stuff, say, yes, we have insurance. And there's even intermediaries, third-party MSSPs and MSPs that I've seen that have that low-level insurance that is really nothing, but they're able to put on paper, we are backed, we have insurance in case anything does happen, and it's really just crap.
Yep. So the reason why we went on that whole tangent on insurance was because they couldn't, they being the ransomware groups, they couldn't just do that anymore and expect a payout. They'd have to extort another way. Otherwise, there's going to be someone like me who comes along and just tells people how to fix it and tells them, hey, don't do this. We'll just have to rebuild. Here's all the resources, blah, 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 blah. Here's how we'll do this from stopping it from happening again. But
exactly.
It sucks.
Yeah. So one thing I did want to hit, many asked, would IDS or honeypots have been useful in detecting this for the oil company? I'm sure the hackers know how to defeat this, but I just thought I'd toss that out. Most likely. So, intrusion.
Really.
Well, why, especially if we're talking honeypots, why not?
Because you can figure out real quick when you're in a honeypot.
Yeah, but by the time you figure out you're in a honeypot, you've already found out you're in a honeypot, which means blue teamers also know that you are in their honeypot.
Maybe. So the honeypot idea is great. The IDS is great. How are...
I wouldn't.
Hang on, let me finish my sentence. How many people or how many attacks are actually going through, like percentage-wise, are actually going through network-facing attacks?
It depends.
In general.
Like automated attacks, none. Actual boots on the ground, hackers within the environment, there's going to definitely be some. They're going to do a port scan, right? they are going to try to make a connection to a couple ports here or there where they think there may potentially be a vulnerability, right? Yeah. So it's going to be more, and they may not be able to exploit it, right? But if some of those ports on, let's say all the endpoints were honeyports, say you have something out there where all your systems now have a few honeyports on them. It's going to be pretty tough to bypass that and not get caught. Now, if you just have like a singular honeypot in your environment, you know, you put it, say, at the kind of the bottom, the upper tier of your subnets, and because this is what I used to do before I had specific solutions in place where I was able to make every system in my environment a honeypot. I would actually assign a shit ton of IP addresses to a singular system, which was my honeypot. And I would have all my subnets. I'd have low range, high range, and middle of the range IPs assigned against a singular system in all my subnets. So if anybody were to start doing port scans and try to do a handshake against or connect against any of the honeyports I had there, I was able to get them. That's very difficult to do, though. It sucks. It really sucks to do. And sysadmins and network admins do not like to work with you to do and get that configured out correctly, especially in a somewhat secure way. Because you got to think too, you know, if you're not doing multiple honeypots, you know, a honeypot on every subnet and everything, that can potentially lead into being a pivot point and being a jump box from one area to another. So you got to be really, really defined in how you do it. But I mean, I am a huge fan of honeypots, as long as they're done correctly. And yeah, I think a lot of stuff can be detected with them, but again, you still have to be watching them. You know, if a honeypot's attacked and you have no clue that it was attacked and you're not being notified or somebody's not watching that information, what's the point of it? It's like any security product. If there's no way of seeing what that product is doing, it may be doing something amazing, but if you don't know about it, what good is it doing?
You know, my rebuttal to all of it was going to be phishing.
Well, yeah, but with phishing, they're still going to come in. You know, they have
honeyport thing will work there though, because then they're going to try and enumerate and try and
because they need to
situational
situational awareness, get to know the environment, because they're going to land on a desktop or a laptop that they have no clue where they're at in the organization. Whose account? Well, they may know whose account if they did it appropriately, but yeah, they're not necessarily going to know like where physically they've landed within the environment. So they, you know, IP config all, netstat A, you know, start to find out everything locally and then start to move out from that local workstation, you know, dump creds and start to move laterally and do all that fun stuff.
Yep. And that is how 90% of all ransomware goes around the network and starts connecting to stuff.
Yeah. But too, that's, you know, fully automated ransomware is not going to hit honeyports, right? It's going to be looking for very specific ports. You know, it's been programmed to do one thing or a couple things. If this fails, then do this type of thing. The honeyports are going to be for targeted attacks. You know, phishing email came in, somebody clicked it. Now you have an actual live hacker on the other end of the line. Who's, you know, reversed into your system and trying to work their way out. So,
yep. Which is why log, for the love of God, log.
And look over and review those logs. I mean, I'd say the same with IDS because there's no point in having an IDS if nobody's looking at the data and saying, okay, well, I already know that we're getting a lot of false positives here. Let's retune the IDS.
Yeah, and remember too, you know, IDS is signature based. It's gonna be able to detect what has been identified before. It's not gonna be all that good on behavioral aspects. It's gonna be you know, specific items that it's seen before. So IDS is good. Every organization should have some type of IDS IPS, but it's not going to be like, hey, if we have this, it's 100% solution. We're going to stop everything. It's a piece of the onion.
Yep.
And onion is, layered security. You have, okay, hopefully this one gets it. If it doesn't, now we have this one. Now we have this one, and you layer those different pieces of security on top of each other. Because if there was an end-all be-all, all of us would be unemployed. Somebody like McAfee would rule the world. Oh, wait, he kind of does, but not. But yeah, there would be essentially one company who was like the company for security.
It would be E-Corp size
E-Corp,
levels
yes.
of stuff for Mr. Robot fans out there.
Yeah, it would be like Bezos mixed with
Bill Gates and
Bill Gates.
Jobs and McAfee all in one person.
Yeah.
So you have a coked up narcissistic
futurist.
Tax evading.
Wait, which one was the tax evading outside of McAfee? Oh, Bezos. Well, I mean, I gotta give it to the guy. Takes like a $75,000 a year salary. His riches are in his company ownership, which he does not actually do anything with until he sells stock.
Right, but he also got the company to have a negative tax.
If wherever they are at, Seattle, if they're willing to do that, if whoever is working with them is willing to do that, yeah, I would do that too.
I would too. I'm not saying it's a bad idea. I'm just saying it's just like, okay, cool. Then why do I have to pay in?
Oh, yeah. Totally agree there.
Why does a recent college graduate have to pay in taxes for actually doing his job?
That's an excellent question.
But we're going to move on from that.
Oh,
anyway.
Real quick, I did want to throw out there, we do have I work for Binary Defense. We do have an open source honeypot project out there called Artillery. So I don't know what our Git is. I know it's out on our Git, probably like Git/Binary Defense or something. But we have Artillery out there, and you can download that honeypot. It's open sourced, so play with it if you want to. Have fun with it. It's been quite a few years since I messed with it, and I'm sure there's been some advancements with it. But yeah, we do have that out there, open source, and you don't have to pay a dime for that. I actually used to use that in my previous company at one point. So I have done some stuff with it in the past.
Apparently there is a JavaScript like NPM module that's also called Artillery. So
okay.
I'm trying to find it here. There you go. Defense by Artillery from Trusted Sec. It's a fork.
Us and Trusted Sec.
It's a fork. Yeah, so
it's better than a spoon.
Yeah, right. Binary Defense /Artillery. So github.com/binary defense, B and D are capitalized /Artillery.
What other, actually, I guess I could look, but what other stuff do we have out there? Do we have anything out there other than Artillery?
I know Black Hills and Active Countermeasures have theirs. They kind of flaunt it every time that you go into a training, which are great trainings if you haven't gone through those yet. They're all on webcasts, so.
Artillery, Auto, OSEC, Goat Rider. We got Goat Rider. What is Goat Rider? Goat Rider is a simple tool that will dynamically pull down artillery. Oh, that's cool. Pull down artillery threat intelligence feeds, Tor, Alien Vault OTX, and the Alexa top 1 million websites and do comparison to hostname file, blah, blah, blah. That's kind of sweet.
I know there might be another. I was just thinking of one and I totally forgot what it was. AI Hunter is their tool.
Now, AI Hunter isn't open source. Is it open source?
I think. Yeah, okay, hang on.
I thought that was their paid product.
I'm trying to remember. Recon and no, that's their.
Hey,
defense stuff.
and just as a side thought, did you have some laser eye surgery done?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
No,
I
no,
just-
those are his stunner shades.
Because that's what you usually see people walking out the optometrist with.
Sadly, I think I paid less for these than what a doctor's office probably has to pay for those.
Wow.
Paid like $2 for these.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, at Ragstock.
Okay. I mean, I was gonna guess either that or you met a Terminator back in the day and beat his ass and took his shades away.
I'm taller than Arnold, but he got double drop kicked in the back and didn't move. And he's close to his 70s.
Yeah, he's getting up there.
So no, and also Nutcat says hi.
Nice.
Harper. She is trying to get into that computer.
Wait a minute. You named the cat Netcat? Really?
No, oh, that's the nickname. I did not name a cat Nutcat. It's not my cat.
Mm-hmm.
Anywho.
Anywho. Okay, we
Dark
want
Hotel.
to hit the show notes some more.
Yeah. Yes.
Since
we're
yeah,
an
we
hour in and we've gotten into like one thing.
yeah, one thing so far. Okay. Chinese government agencies have been compromised. This one was kind of interesting. Dark Hotel is apparently a hacking group who has used a VPN 0-day to breach Chinese government agencies. Now, as always, we on the Irongeek cast do not put a lot of weight in attribution. Attribution is very difficult. It can be faked. Very often times is faked. So, it may be. But they are attributing it to South Africa. I mean, not South Africa. South Korea. And the attack started back in March. Chinese security firm Kaihu 360. I don't know. I don't pronounce stuff well. Detected the attackers, said the hackers were using a 0-day vulnerability in Sang4 SSL VPN servers, which is another tech I have not heard of until now. Used to provide remote access to enterprise and government networks. They discovered more than 200 VPN servers that have been hacked in this campaign. 174 of these servers were located on the networks of government agencies in Beijing and Shanghai. And the networks of Chinese diplomatic missions operating abroad in countries such as probably about 15 different countries, including Italy, United Kingdom, Pakistan, Kyrgyzstan, Indonesia, Thailand, UAE, Armenia, and North Korea. Ooh, that would be interesting, getting into North Korea.
I don't know. I'm noticing that there's one country lacking there, and
Yeah.
and I think it's sort of the safe bet to point at South Korea without pointing at that one country.
Well, I mean, South Korea is not there, but you know who's also not there?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
You know, we're not there. But two, it could be one of those things that if this Sang4, we may have said, you know, screw it, no, you cannot use that VPN here. I don't know, but that could be the case.
It looks like it's from what I pulled up a second ago, and I'm pulling it back up. It looks like it's a specific thing that's built in China, so it's kind of more sold around Asia, Middle East, and
Well, but it's all yeah. So it's built in China. It's what China uses, but there are most likely countries, like us. We essentially said like, screw it. There's going to be very minimal to no Russian as well as Chinese tech software that's going to be implemented at scale here. And
I mean,
we may have told them no.
but then you have to treat these Chinese you have to treat the Chinese government, because when they have their diplomatic missions here, they are pretty much their own sovereign countries on their own sovereign soil. So they can use whatever the fuck they want to.
But they got to get to that sovereign soil first. It's not like you're going to land a plane on an embassy.
You can land a helicopter, but
yeah, but you're not going to fly a helicopter from China to the Chinese embassy here.
But no, all I'm saying is that up to the point of where the internet connection comes in, they can use whatever they want to on their internal networks. Now they might be using something different.
Yeah, internal, but all of these VPN hosts are touching public IP spaces, though.
Right, but I mean, they could be using something different in the U.S.
Yeah, and I think they probably are using something different in the U.S. I don't think we're going to allow them to use that in the U.S. because even though the land is technically theirs, you're on Chinese soil when you're at the embassy and whatnot. Anything you're doing from an ISP perspective, last time I heard, all the ISPs are still U.S. owned. So your data is still going to be going out, and we can always say, nope, you're not going to get any ISP-based coverage. Screw it. Well, we're going to make you use a sat phone to get your connectivity.
And then they can turn around and say the same thing. Oh, well, you want to play that game in the U.S.? Well, we say the same thing in our country.
Yeah,
we give you. And that's why they go with these quote unquote secure solutions, is because they know that we're looking, we know they're looking, and
yes, and we are looking a lot, and they are looking a lot, and anybody, if you're kind of new to security, and you are surprised that nation states are infiltrating one another, that's not a abnormal thing. That is a daily occurrence.
It's all in the game.
Yeah, it really is. It's one of those, who are we still in good relations with? Okay, good. Your power grid's going to stay up, and guess what? Our power grid's going to stay up too. It's whenever those alliances start to get a little frayed at China, that we could start looking at we may have to take down something over here, and then they may end up retaliating a little bit over here. Won't necessarily make the evening news, but there's definitely things that occur and don't always make it out into the general public from a reporting perspective.
Yep.
Especially some of the smaller stuff that you're like, this isn't worth it.
Yeah.
Like the mom and pop shops or hospitals or something. Well, hospitals probably right now, but like nothing of like the major. It won't even hit local news.
No. Everything, and too, that makes you wonder, and I need to get back and start digging into what's going through legislature right now, because everybody's 1,000% fixated on COVID-19. Who freaking knows what the government's currently doing?
Everything.
They very well could be. Everybody's looking over here. We're going to go this way and do a couple things before they start looking back. So.
Yep. Well, they just publicly, I think it was 2 days ago, they publicly announced the building of 2 more like huge hospital ships that were either going to be retrofitted to be hospitals or completely built up to be hospitals, like on water military hospitals, and I'm like, that's BS. They're gonna retrofit that. They'll get it down to like 5 minutes that they can make it, so that there's a giant ass cannon on the front.
I don't know. Though I think the thing with the what was that? The Coast Guard ship. What ship went into New York City?
Roosevelt?
No, it was actually
No.
like
No,
white
you mean-
with red.
You mean the HMS Comfort or something like that?
Maybe, yeah, because it was like pure white ship with the red, cross on the side. Like not Salvation Army. I know it's something, but it wasn't like Salvation Army. I don't think.
That's the Navy. They have the.
Yeah, because there was a slight uproar over last week with that one, because only like 3 people were admitted to it, type of thing. And apparently, what that ship is supposed to be within New York, is to get non-COVID patients on, but people who still have something occurring, that need assistance. But there were only 3 people on it. Like, and it's supposed to have like, I don't know, 1,000 plus beds or something. And there were 3 people on it after a week time frame.
Yeah, it was supposed to be for like trauma, people recovering from surgeries. They were supposed to take the load off of like the emergency rooms and stuff like that.
Kind of open the hospitals up, get those people out of the hospitals and get them on there, and still isolate the hospitals for the COVID patients and get non-COVID like out that still need to be addressed. And just like 3 people, there's a disconnect somewhere.
Well, now the comfort ship is taking COVID-19 patients.
Oh, are they really?
Yes.
I
This was as of 15 hours ago.
Yeah, because they had 3 people try to come on that were tested positive for it.
Right.
So, shit, you're all infected now. All right, might as well.
You're like, if you can't beat them, join them.
Literally, that's what you would have to do in that. But
Yeah.
their VPNs probably are okay, unlike
Yeah.
Chinese
Unlike the Chinese VPNs.
All right, data breach report. Popular digital wallet app Key Ring exposes 14 million users.
Yes. So, have you guys heard of Keyring? It's a digital wallet.
I've seen
Keyring.
it. I saw it pop up in my feed like a week ago. Yeah, this was written a week ago. I saw this pop up in one of my, I think it was on LinkedIn.
Yeah. So, essentially, what this was an unsecured bucket. And whenever we talk about an unsecured bucket, and this one just happened to be S3, you could have this essentially in any of the cloud computing platforms. But an unsecured bucket is where their multi-factors off, they're using, the default admin creds, whatever the case may be. It was fairly easy. Did they say who was this? A Dachenko? Say who the researchers were who found this?
Led by Noam Rotem and Ran Lokar.
Oh, okay. So yeah,
VPN
not
mentors
Dachenko
research
this
team.
time.
Yeah. But funny thing is I know the guy that probably wrote the tool that they were using.
Nice.
Yeah. So, BLT Jetpack on Twitter is the guy who wrote that. I also know the other guy who wrote something else in the show notes. But yeah, he wrote that back when he and I were in college, and he showed it to me, and then all this stuff started happening right after that. Like, people just ran with it. It's a very, very good tool, obviously.
Yeah.
His tool set is figuring out where leaks are.
Leaking. Oh man. We need a tool called the faucet
Yeah.
that
Figure
is
out
to
where the
find
leaks are.
leaks. Yes, I like that.
Just have it interface into WikiLeaks and a bunch of other spots. hey, if you want a faucet, just turn on the faucet and you're going to see all the leaks.
There you go. With this, some of the data that was in this unsecured S3 bucket, government IDs, retail club membership and loyalty cards, NRA membership. Really? Anybody?
Wow.
Holy cow. NRA membership cards, gift cards, credit cards with all details exposed, including CVVs, medical insurance cards, medical marijuana ID cards. Holy cow.
They got jackpotted.
Damn. And this was what, 14 million? Yeah, 14 million users. Man. What?
Oh, shit.
Wow. So examples of companies affected, and then wait. So Walmart and Kleenex. Okay. Kids Eat Free campaign, unknown marketing campaign report, something bakery Chan, Foot Locker, Mattel, and the La Madeleine Bakery. Pie was included. That it was full names, email addresses, membership ID numbers, dates of birth, locations, and zip codes. Holy cow! This was like I won't say this was a mega breach, but this is get pretty close on the quality of data. Man.
Also usernames.
I mean, this is like one-stop shop. This is like this is like the the mall of breaches.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Or this is the Costco of breaches. There we go. I like that one.
Yep. This looks like his tool, and I just messaged him with a link to this and said, "Look what you have released onto this world." God.
What'd he say?
He hasn't
replied back.
He hasn't replied back yet. I'll let you know if he replies back. He also found the Venmo breach he found the Venmo leak a while back too. I think.
I remember that one. Yeah.
Yeah, that was him too.
That's cool.
He's nuts. He and I also collabed on watching the FCC edit their Wikipedia article constantly.
Oh, yes.
So he and I he wrote most of the tool and made it specific to to the FCC. And we were able to correlate every single person that works at the FCC and see who edited what. And also they caught on to it. Yeah. So they started putting out a bunch of other stuff on other things other than those pages to make it look like there was data that was being screwed around. They were hitting photography, they were hitting I'm like, this is because I contributed something to the tool where you could do it for any corporation. Yeah. I still, just to test it, went back to FCC, and because he figured out this on Twitter gave him the internal email domain template for all of the FCC emails. He wrote the tool. I came back and then just started doing a bunch of other stuff for other corporations. It gets really funny. We'll just say that.
Nice.
Wikipedia is fun. Their API is hilarious.
Oh, yes. Okay, cool.
Mega breach. And I think he got back to me. Hang on 1 second.
Can't make me. No.
Okay, so hang on a second. So here's BLT Jetpack's response. He just got back to me. He laughs and he says, "I actually DM'd those guys a few months back asking if they used my tool. They said no, but one donated some money to the PayPal link I have on it. They were super nice. I follow both of them now, and my feed has occasional posts on Hebrew." Oh.
Okay.
Lamau. Okay, so they didn't use his tool, but they did see it and they were like, "Okay, yeah, you did the exact same thing years ago."
Yeah, they probably based it somewhat off of his tool.
Yeah, they donated, so it's like, "Oh, okay, cool." I gotta donate after all this crap's over, because I'd have to use it on a regular basis as well.
Nice. Something we have not said. So if you are watching on YouTube, Caprico, you say this because you know all the verbiage better on YouTube side.
Oh, yeah. If you want to
Yes.
follow along on the show notes, look in the description of the stream. There's a link there that is labeled show notes. It'll take you to a Google Doc, and you can see us add things to the show notes as we go through them in the week, or 10 minutes before the podcast, because that's usually what happens. But if you're in the show and you want to look at some of the past shows and also take a look at some of the articles and some of the POCs that I've put up there from other podcasts, go for it. They're all there, basically everything from episode 0 till, which one is this, 160 something? 163. So go check it out in the description. Also, like and subscribe to Irongeek.
Yes, like and subscribe. Okay. If you guys want to talk about some of the info data stat stuff, we can. I'm just planning on like barely touching it.
Yeah.
So first up, exploiting COVID-19 for gains. As I'm sure anybody watching, listening, on the cast has heard, tons of phishing, phone calls, anything you can imagine is being wrapped around COVID-19. I did see one thing that something like 10,000 or 20,000 sites a day relating to COVID and coronavirus sites are being registered daily. It looks like just for phishing campaigns, and nefarious reasons. So be vigilant. Make sure your family, everybody knows it's crap. Don't click on it, anything like that. The stimulus payments, if you are in the U.S., stimulus payments, there's a lot of phishing and spam starting to be wrapped around the stimulus payment that even on the phone side, they're calling elderly people up, especially saying, to let us know what bank account we should deposit the, $1,200 into, trying to get a lot of people to divulge their bank accounting information. So, yeah, a lot of stuff happening there. Another link I have on there is the Aussies, Australian government is now starting to hack back in regard to a lot of these different scams that are arising due to COVID-19. I have quite a few friends who are working independently within a sanctioned group on hackback campaigns within the U.S., which is kind of fun. So those things do happen, are around. So, and then after that, congrats to, and I don't know Ryan, but congrats to Ryan Pickren for finding some Apple 0 days. And I think it was around 7 0 days that they are attributing him with, which is, not too shabby, but he did glean about $75,000 from finding those different 0 days. So, not too shabby. I don't know how much time he spent in finding them and all the work that it took, how many hours of work it took, but most likely it did not take, say he makes $150K a year, and with that you would be working 6 months. I'm guessing it probably wasn't 6 months,
Nah.
of 40 hours a week to find the bones. So that's not bad money.
I just pity him for having to probably use Apple's suite of trying to emulate all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Because
I tried to do that years ago, and oh my gosh, it's just such a pain in the ass.
Yep, I did basic compatibility development for a couple of iOS apps that we had at my last company before I went into security full time. And yeah, It sucks. There is no easy way to get documentation.
No.
It's you literally need to know like their version of either C plus or C, which is Objective C for them, or you need to be really, really good at Swift and also pay a shit ton of money for it. That training.
Yeah, and Bit said, "Damn, does he get 7 million?" And then he said 75K. Damn. So yeah, initially you hear that it's like 70 days. Yeah, should get like $1 million a pop, right? So their $1 million a pop is, I don't know if it even is applicable to Mac OS. I think it is iPhone or iOS for remote codecs. So I don't believe any of these were remote codecs, just because he didn't get the $1 million. But yeah, if it would have been remote codecs to be able to do a lot of this stuff, then we would have been looking at a much higher payday.
Yep, there was there is a bug bounty program. I don't think it's actually running anymore. I was still in Europe when it was announced, but they're looking for a remote code execution on iOS and Mac OS and they were going to pay out like something to the effect of like $2 million. They're like, I don't know what kind of group it was. It looked shady. I didn't like it, and it died out. Never heard from him again.
Well, there's that one in Israel, remember, that play kind of middleman for government agencies.
Yeah, I don't know if it was the same one though. I think it's different.
Yeah, I think it's different because I think that one still is up and going pretty heavily because they were the ones who did had the original contraption for doing iPhone lockouts, where they were scraping out memory and storage from the iPhone so that you could essentially reset on every turn, to get passcodes and stuff, right? Pretty sure that was them.
Right, because they were the ones who helped out with the San Bernardino situation.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
True.
Okay, last one is in info data stats is one I threw up there. This is just something that I'm going to be watching. Is Windows 10 is getting Linux file integration in File Explorer. So if you are running,
how great of an idea is this?
Okay, like okay, so the integrated Linux kernel, if you don't know, in Windows, is basically you have a sub OS that is a subsystem of Linux running on your Windows machine. To say that it is possibly dumb to have it indexed by Explorer means that every time that Explorer opens something, it might be able to run something inside of your Linux operating system as well, so or vice versa. So my thing is, I see priv escalation in the near future here. Most of that stuff, I believe, root has to run as system.
Now, for like I have one Windows system, I think, here at home somewhere. My wife's system. So, and I don't know if the Linux stuff is on there yet or not.
It shouldn't be on by default unless they've changed it in the past year or so.
Okay, so to enable the Linux side, I'm assuming that's going to enable some Hyper-V functionality within the native Windows OS, right? Because so it's not emulating it, it's running it like pure natively.
It's a native subsystem ish. It's weird.
Yeah. Is it kind of containerized out, or do they fully interact with each other?
Fully interact.
That's
why
a hacker's dream.
Yeah, so Linux Windows WLS, Windows Linux Subsystem. That project started back in 2015, which was my freshman year of college. And it was super cool because you could do all your dev stuff inside of there and it'd be great. If you understood Linux better than Linus did, it sucked. If you once it got better and better and better and all this other stuff, it started to work great. And then they kept trying to push it more and more into being they both run on the same thing. So now you're running both operating systems at the same time.
Yeah.
Which is where we're at today, which is why they could do this. So
I mean,
I'm expecting an O-Day.
You talk about a glorious, glorious time for me. And anybody like me who is a crappy programmer, I will take an existing script, modify it out, or, build a script on my own. But I am so lazy about it. Once it works, I don't give a crap. I'm going to run it. But if I can now leverage Linux commands as well as Windows commands, holy crap, I'm totally going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, now we have Linux. Oh, my goodness. Can you think about that? Mixing PowerShell in with Linux commands.
Yep.
That's fun.
I'm just waiting until they ship it out on anytime they kill CMD and kill the normal Windows file system.
That's awesome.
I just want the normal Windows file system to die.
Yeah, just like Excel, the UI, so system, just kill system.
Yeah.
And yeah, take everything command line and have at it.
Yep. Back to 1975.
Back to life, back to reality. Good stuff.
Yep. Anyway, just wanted to throw that in there because I'm this is weird. It came up as a suggested article, and I'm well, that suggestion is spot on. They are tracking me. Okay.
I like it.
On to vulnerable stuff.
Vulnerable stuff, yes. Patch Firefox up. So Firefox had, I think it was 2 0 days in the last week, which have been patched. So just make sure to get your Firefox patched up. They have been actively exploited in the wild, so it is important to patch those because somebody could have malicious code just within a website, a phishing attachment, blah blah blah, and be able to potentially exploit it. So get your Firefox patched up. And last week we talked about Doom for Zoom, and now this week, oh wait, that's not yet.
No, not yet.
First, before that, Docker.
Yeah, that's fine. If you want to do that too, this might be a while. No, I'm kidding. All right, so this segment is sponsored by Docker. Not really. I just really like to rip them.
Yeah, but Docker, if you want to give us money, we'll take that too.
Yeah, I'll take some of it.
We're not going to rip less on the product or implementations of your platform.
I'm going to rip on the implementations all day.
Yeah, exactly. I said we're not going to, reduce that. But if you want to give us money, we'll take that.
Mm-hmm. You keep having all of the DockerCon, all of the talks and everything called Hacking with Docker. And you even call using Docker hacking. To this I say, self-propagating malware targets thousands of Docker ports per day. And it's not ports, those are hosts. The article's got it kind of confused. So in the show notes, I've got a Twitter post that I posted, I think yesterday, and I'll bring that up in a second here. But from Threat Post, we have self-propagating malware targets thousands of Docker ports per day. This is the same kind of crappy research that Unit 42 did when they first started writing about stuff, and then I yelled at them and they stopped. being
And
not
Unit
researching.
42 is
Palo
Palo
Alto.
Alto's
Yep.
team, right? Yeah.
Yep. Good job on their writers now. They're actually doing way better.
Yes, they do some really good stuff.
Yep.
I like them now.
Yep. So a Bitcoin mining campaign using
As well as Walmart. Walmart does some good stuff too. Their security team.
Yep. I don't know if that was sarcastic.
It's not. I was very, very surprised. Walmart
I still
actually
have
has.
their beer code.
Oh, okay, nice. Yeah, their security team and their research team, they do some really, really good research. I mean, I put it right up there with Unit 42.
Yep.
And there's probably, I'd say, a handful, 8 to 10 different groups that I have in that range. And Walmart, there's no other retailer I can think of that I would ever consider putting them there. But Walmart's group is a good group.
Yep. So I'm actually going to share the article here. Hopefully that doesn't screw up the. All right, here we go. That looks terrible. All right, hang on one second. Let me see how bad this looks up here. Let's zoom in a little bit.
Oh wait. Yeah, Zoom is the next one, not this one.
Yep. Okay. So.
Oh wait, but you just zoomed.
Yeah. Shut up. Yep. The Docker Cloud containerization technology is under fire with an organized, self-propagating crypto mining campaign targeting misconfigured open Docker daemon API ports.
That was a mouthful.
That is a mouthful, but that is something that I have said over and over again, which is why I can say it. Okay, thousands of container compromised attempts are being observed every day as part of the campaign, according to Gal Singer, a security researcher at Aquasec. The effort has been ongoing for months. I can actually give you a timeline that is way longer than that. However, since the beginning of this year, the number of daily attempts has far exceeded what was seen before, he said. That is also true. We believe that these attacks are directed by actors with sufficient resources and the infrastructure needed to carry out and sustain such attacks, and that this is not an improvised endeavor. Nope, it is copied over and over again. Kinsing's infection routine. I actually have this code. Do you want me to pull it up so you can actually see it? Like, I'm not.
Well, I mean, if you can get it up and don't need to use pills, then heck yeah.
I might need a chill pill after this, though.
I didn't even get a giggle out of Jack. I mean, come on, Jack.
Nope, you did not. Okay, so this is the wrong window. Hang on one second here. Docker botnets. All right, so if you're new to the channel or new to the stream or whatever, I'm gonna switch over here. If you want to read the rest of the article, it's a pretty decent article. Let me switch over my screen here real quick. And we're gonna go to not that because that yep, that's fine actually. So we are going to go to Atom. And as you can see, I have been doing a few of these. So can you guys actually see that? Okay. You guys can't see anything yet.
I'm looking at your wonderful face. Oh, there we go.
So
we got some code.
This is not the right one that we're talking about. So I've been following this kind of crap for forever, by the way. So if you're new here, I'm kind of a subject matter expert maybe on this.
That's me.
I won't say exactly what I am on this. I might just be obsessed. Okay.
Hey, that's fine.
So there have actually been three of them that I have observed, 3 different iterations of this. All of them have been using Kinsing. I have another project folder that actually details all these out, but we'll just go with like the first one here. So first things first is they pull down they do that curl going to that d.sh. So that d.sh folder, script is this script right here. It's a giant kill list, and it's actually looking at all these different sort of processes and all this other crap. Then at the end of it all, I think D2 is just another copy of it. It will pull down another instance of it from another spot to make a cron job. That cron job then reruns everything and then runs what is called this Kinsing malware. Kinsing is, from what I can see and what I was able to see in IDA yesterday, while I was actually taking the time out to go and try and learn IDA and try and reverse engineer this. It is a compilation of Mascan as well as Docker in its own ELF binary or Linux binary. And because of that, it is able to self-propagate itself over multiple Docker hosts. Now, I haven't gotten into the things that they have gotten into, which is great that these researchers over at Gal Singer over at Aquasec, what they did, where they took the time to actually see how is this actually going to map out and try to get into other hosts and other things of that nature. And it looks like it will all just stay on that one Docker daemon host in that Ubuntu container that it creates. So it actually is not as bad as I thought it would. But essentially what Kinsing is it's a binary that has Docker in it, and it then runs Docker commands towards other stuff. And uses masscan to scan the rest of the network or rest of the internet. It's already on an externally facing box, and it will just go ahead and do that. To get around like AV solutions or AppArmor or anything like that, you have to look no further than Shakespeare's play Hamlet. So
No, this is like old school shit. This is like 10 years ago stuff.
yeah,
They used to do this forever ago.
yeah, which then gives me age, but ish. So yeah, Ghost of Hamlet's father. It's pretty. Yeah. So someone.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I
Yeah.
haven't seen this in years.
Yeah, there's a bunch of other clear text stuff. If you want to go and find this, I guess at this point, because I kind of keep everything kind of under wraps because I don't want to, in terms of specifics, until someone else either contacts me to say, hey, would you be willing to write about this? Or they pivot and I'm just like, fine, this code is baloney. I try to keep it down so that they're not moving around, but honestly, they probably know I have all their crap anyway. But if you want this, I'll put up a GitHub of all the crap I have on this guy, because what I was doing, it doesn't matter right now because they're now in the open. They're going to pivot. So
You know what would be interesting? If it was the same guys from like 10 years ago that were doing that.
Maybe. I don't know. I'll have to double check on something else on this one, because I think it was another one that I found very interesting that I can't talk about at all.
It's because you don't know.
No, I know. I just really can't talk about it. Yeah, so another one, if you're interested in this stuff, go watch my talk. It's pinned on my Twitter, which is also in the show notes, which you can find in the description. Our Twitter handles are at the top. And you can learn more about that, and also some steganography, because that was the talk before, which is from crap, what's his handle? I think Viking Sec or something was the guy's name. I can't remember his handle. But as of midnight this past night, there are a total of 6,834 vulnerable hosts that I can see that have a potential vulnerability to this attack. So, yeah. And that is a record that has been smashed from last month, which was 5,000. So 1,000 new hosts have come on.
Wow.
In a month.
It's like they're trying to compete with coronavirus.
Oh my God, if only. I do not want to know what my code will do to my computer if it gets that high.
Yeah.
It already kicks on the fan.
Nice.
No, not nice. I'm like, don't blow up, don't blow up, don't blow up.
It kicks on the fan. Like, kicks on the fan. Fans are there for a reason. Cool it down, get it happy again.
All right. And then we've got, all right, it's getting to the point that I don't want to wear these anymore.
Oh, you're not blind. Huh.
No, I'm not.
Okay, interesting.
Okay, so Zoom is, well, Zoom
Yeah,
is
it's been a
pretty
fun
much-
week. Man, you talk about a blasting from the security community.
Oh
Woo.
my God.
That was... honestly, I think it was a little too much.
Nothing
like-
in your...
Yeah, I mean, there were things that need to be addressed. Zoom is addressing them, and I thought appropriately, but damn, they just were not getting let up on at all.
Yep, no. So what we're going to see here is I've got two links. One of them is no one's really going to be letting up on them because Zoom is getting it's getting sued sued in a class action lawsuit. And by their shareholders. So Zoom is being sued by their shareholders over security vulnerabilities. And there's also a class action lawsuit that is being filed by customers of Zoom.
Facebook.
Hmm?
I thought
Facebook's
Facebook.
one of them.
Yeah.
Facebook might be one of them, but it was
Interesting.
it was a single, from what I remember reading, it was a single, I don't have it here. It was a single dude who said it violated the CCPA or California's Internet Protections Act or whatever. And since it violated that, he went to go start a suit. California's like, yep, this is bad. So they're now getting sued on two fronts. But why are they getting sued, you might ask? So go to that CNET article that I have there, and you have every security issue uncovered in the video chat app. And this was posted today. So April 8th, we have a fourth lawsuit. Google is now banning Zoom from being used inside of Google's stuff, and it must be a Hangout Meet. Bug bounty hunters emerge because there's a bug bounty program that they set up in the wake of all of this. The main one that I really wanted to get to were like this AI Zoom bomb where someone was able to use just AI to just throw into some random dude into Zoom. In this case, it was Elon Musk. So some school districts are banning Zoom for the fact that it is those are kids getting on there, and you don't want to get porno bombed with a bunch of kids in your classroom and your Zoom meeting. Zoom accounts found on the dark web. Zoom seeks to grow its lobbying presence in Washington.
Okay, sidetrack real quick. All lobbyists need to be done away with immediately. They're, I hate lobbyists. So, okay, back on track.
Yep, and then a bunch of stuff. It really is turning into the BP oil crisis in the Gulf from South Park. They're just like, we're sorry. If you've seen that episode, what I really wanted to get to here was an automated tool can find Zoom meetings. Security researchers revealed an automated tool that was able to find 100 Zoom meetings in an hour, gathering more information for nearly 2,400 Zoom meetings in a single day of scans, as reported by security expert Brian Krebs. The fact of the matter is shout out to SecKC and especially Servo, because that is the dude who wrote this tool.
Nice.
And a bunch of the guys at SecKC helped with it. I am not one of those people that helped at all with it.
Your beard wasn't long enough.
Nope. Actually, no. Servo's clean shaven, so it's actually really funny.
That's sad.
But all these, like, this tool is not public, but the fact that it is one of my local guys that has been able to do this, it is awesome. So cool. He's also very scary with some of the stuff that he's talked to me about. It just in like hacks that he's pulled off, and it is not a person to pick on. So Zoom, stay away.
So
Really stay away.
what are the biggest issues with it? The lack of end-to-end encryption. Is that the biggest or just a piece?
That is a very small piece.
Oh, a small piece.
That's a small piece. What the biggest issue right now is that Zoom seems to be at the point of no one really knows how they're actually securing anything. And with all this research coming out, it turns out they're really not doing much to help secure this stuff. And this is like we use it internally, and we have been using it internally for months before even it became like this big thing.
Yeah.
And I have obviously an NDA, and if some random, and also there's supposed to be confidentiality on our reports between our clients, even the clients' names. Like I can't tell you what client I have worked for in the past.
Yeah.
If someone randomly gets into my meeting, that is a breach of confidentiality, and that's a whole nother issue.
Yeah.
So that's where the big thing comes in. There's also an RCE where you can send someone to their desktop app and either Mac OS or no, it's only in Windows. In Windows, where you can get it to do a universal name or UNC link through Zoom, and Zoom will then go out and grab it no matter what it is.
And I think that one's been patched.
That has been patched.
Yeah, because the reason I was asking and wondering, because, you know, everybody wants to think end-to-end encryption, you know. That's amazing. Obviously, everybody does it. Anytime that you see that little telephone number show up in your meeting invite,
End-to-end encryption
that
is gone.
100% X's out end-to-end encryption.
Yeah.
Having that phone number in there, not encrypted. Can't encrypt it. Your encryption's done.
Yeah.
So
unless you're going through their app.
Yeah, and I'm not talking just Zoom, obviously. You know, GoToMeeting, WebEx, Microsoft Teams, anybody who has a phone number that you can dial into, that will X-nay the encryption nay.
X-nay on the encryption.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's bad. So everyone's talking about Zoom. Found the one article that kind of goes over everything and also links out to everything else. So what to do? Just put a password on the Zoom. All I can say right now, wait for a patch.
and don't include that password in your URL string.
Please, for the love of God.
Oh my gosh, I've been seeing that for last week too. Good night. Come on. Like, don't. I've even seen like a couple government meetings in the last week do that. And it's like, no, not anything company oriented, you know, that my company was involved in. Things that I saw disclosed out to the happy internet. But
happy.
Yes. Don't do stupid things.
Don't be a stupid.
Absurd.
No, don't do that. I won't have a job.
Wait a minute. You're telling me that a government agency individuals held meetings where the password for the Zoom session was in the same email?
Was in the URL string for the meeting. Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
The agency I used to work for, that shit wouldn't have flew.
Yeah. I was like, no. And then, yeah, a couple checks later, yep, that happened. Yeah.
It's bad.
Yeah. 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 I was just like, well, that's a meeting link that I will not be going through and invading.
All right, last but not least, we have CISA's vulnerability summary of the week for March 30th, 2020.
Bum, bum, bum.
And these are all the vulnerabilities that were categorized last week.
Yes.
From high vulnerabilities, critical vulnerabilities, all the way down to the lowest of the low. So we have a bunch of Apple stuff. Those 0 days that we talked about earlier today, there are links to those there, to their CVEs, as well as bubble wrap. I don't even know what that is. Azkaban, Dell, like GitLab. Means I have to update my stuff in internal crap. Lenovo, Solution Center, all of the crap that is like preloaded onto your laptop that I immediately wipe because I throw Linux onto.
Yep. And to like, I want to throw that out there for anybody who does run Windows. We're not necessarily going to discredit Windows and say it's horrible, even though it is. But if you do run Windows, and especially if you say you get something from like Walmart, Micro Center, get as much of the it's been so long since I've had one of those builds. What do we call that stuff? The vendor bloatware. Yes. Get as much as that bloatware off immediately as possible. Their automated patching solution, which is crap. Their stuff for cameras and get that stuff gone. It's not needed, and especially whatever antivirus it came preloaded with is gonna be crap. Get rid of all of that stuff. Get something decent on there if you're gonna do like antivirus and stuff. Honestly, and some of you guys too, you probably don't necessarily run antivirus. I don't run antivirus on the majority of my things. I do safe internet browsing practices. I have segmented networks. I have my network that has very, very, very bad malware on it. And it's contained to just that network. I release that malware against Windows boxes, Linux, whatever systems I want to there. But then my internal network, it is segmented, doesn't touch my malware laden network. And yeah, I kind of put my wife onto the IoT network. So if something happens to her system, it's not getting touched mine. But yeah, I mean, I don't honestly run antivirus on like really anything. I do put on her system. That's about it. But yeah, be safe. Be cautious, knowledgeable about what you do online, and two, run as a power user if you're on Windows. If you are not running, say you have two accounts, you have a admin account and you have a power user account, take your admin account, password it off, throw it in a box somewhere, a shelf or a cabinet drawer, what the user and pass is, and don't ever use it. Just run as a power user. I'll only use that admin account to install software when you need to, or whatever, when it's needed, but run as a power user. Ransomware won't be able to do full disk encryption. You won't have 90+% of the malware be able to do hardly anything on your system in Windows if you're running as a power user. So, okay, my 2 cents. Back to some other fun stuff.
Yeah, so we're actually on other stuff. So.
Oh. Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah, so we kind of hit on this a little earlier, but this is, I was dumb and decided to pay my taxes. And
okay,
that's how much I owed, and that's how much I'm getting from like Corona bill. Cool.
I mean, yeah, but
on the bright side, you're not one of the guys that needs it as bad as some people do.
That's true.
Egads, I'm sounding like a fucking Bernie supporter or something. Kill me.
At the same time, though, it's like, why didn't I just hold on to this money?
Yeah, point taken.
Like,
well, that's
cool,
the point
now
that
I have to wait for it to go through your shitty system so that
for especially those people who got their refunds, via a bank account or something, there is an expectation that they've laid out that here within probably next 2 weeks or so, they should start receiving. seeing payments. The people that it's going to suck for is, say people who in January or hadn't filed their taxes yet, but had a kid, so they're going to miss out on like $500 there, or got married, or or two just hadn't filed taxes. There could be some repercussions there, and say you got married or this or that. It'll be interesting to see how this all plays out.
Or gotten divorced, and they're going by their 2018 taxes.
Ooh, that could be interesting. Yeah, and does that account even still exist? Probably not. I like that. But yes, Cappy, you'll get your $1,200.
Yay!
Sometime here in the next few weeks, hopefully.
I think my accountant has put off doing my taxes since the file date's been pushed back. As I recall. I believe the file date has been pushed back. Please tell me I'm not wrong.
It has.
It has. Yes.
July 15th. Yeah.
Yeah. The biggie though, and I think you checked here a week or two ago, is just making sure that your state income taxes are also being pushed back.
That is a good point.
Yeah. So yeah, just make sure whoever's listening, validate that.
I've got all my stuff in my accountant because I'm just too fucking lazy to do my own taxes at this point because I got different sources of income coming in, and I really wish that was a less complicated process. Also,
yeah, I think the thing that complicates the most with you is the midget stuff.
Yeah,
if
true.
it wasn't for the midgets, I think you'd be pretty good.
Yeah, it is, but just a sideline item, so that's not too much. And the expense, the expenses are very little.
That's accurate. Well, with the midgets.
Moving on.
I don't know. My taxes are pretty freaking difficult because I have my personal stuff and then I have my business and
well, that's the question then, Jack. How are you handling your business?
Yeah, but you didn't invest in midgets. If you would have gone the midget route, it would have just been so much easier.
No, all I have is a business bank account that I don't touch until it's time to pay taxes.
All those big problems become small problems.
Yeet.
And I totally just muted myself.
All right.
But no, seriously, like Jack, how are you handling your? How are you actually handling your business? Is it like filed as a corporation or?
Yeah, it's filed as a corp.
Okay, well, is it like a single member LLC or it's like a traditional corp?
LLC.
Okay, I mean that's not too bad then, because you could just file everything as miscellaneous income.
No.
Yeah, you can.
No. My accountant says it's just easier to separate the two because like I said, I just dump all the money in the bank account and leave it there. Then it's time to pay taxes, and then whatever's left, that's what I take out.
Okay, no. So what I do is I create a single member LLC because basically it's my LLC, and any income that comes from it is treated as miscellaneous income. So it's basically like a 1099, or I'm sorry, 1040. Is it 1040 miscellaneous? That's what it is. It's like lottery winnings, things like that.
I'll give you a definite maybe. And Bacon. Oh, Bacon, I love your name. Bacon Nation. Like, yes, that's awesome. As far as I know, it was not classified. And, for everybody listening, thank you for listening. Hector, thank you. And Jason, good to see you on. I don't think you were on last week, but good to see you.
And hopefully by next week,
even if it's not classified, with the government, it's at least with the place where I worked, everything was treated as SBU, but unclassified.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it was just automatic.
Yeah, that very well could be.
Automatic.
No. Who did that? No. Don't ever do that again.
All right, last up on other stuff is actually something that I've been using since day one of its launch. Introducing 1.1.1.1 for families. So if you don't know what 1.1.1.1 is, it is not what you should be using anymore for your default routes inside while you are inside your Cisco switches while you are practicing for the CCNA anymore.
Shouldn't we use 4.4.4.4 or 4.4.2.2?
Are those other DNSs now too? Okay.
Those are who is that? I think that is Google.
No, Google's
No.
eight.
Oh, no,
Google
that's
is
open-
Quad 8.
That's OpenDNS,
Quad 8 and
right?
8844.
No, that's either Google or Verizon. OpenDNS is like not memorizable like that. It's some weird like 206 something, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So who is 4444? Because it's 4444 and 4422.
Quad 4. Hold on.
I think Quad 4 is Verizon. I think Quad 8 is Google.
Quad 8 is Google.
Oh, okay.
And then 8844 is their secondary. And so anyway, 1.1.1.1, so Quad 1 for families is something that they introduced today.
No, they introduced it on the first.
First? Okay, sorry. The first. So week-ish ago. And essentially what it is it's a privacy-centered DNS server. So you can have all your traffic routes in 1.1.1.1 like it was before. However, with this launch, they have it set up so that there are two flavors. There is the 1.1.1.2, which is no malware, so it actually indexes all, or the DNS server or whatever thing they have on the back end is actually indexing all of the malicious sites or no malicious sites to make sure that your kids or your, in my case, my non-security savvy girlfriend doesn't go to a malicious site. So
or cat.
Or cat. Yeah. Not cat likes to go to some weird places.
Yeah, some pretty racy stuff, yeah.
The cat would have a hard time typing adriansmidgets.com.
Yeah.
You have no idea how many typos are in my reports right now.
Yeah, I was pretty surprised whenever I was looking up like bald dogs. Like that freaked me out.
Yeah, there's some sort of like dog beheading crap in my internet history now.
Holy cow.
They also have a no malware or adult content. So if you want to,
frankly, the adult content after the LGBTQ community got up in arms about certain sites getting blocked, Cloudflare went ahead and neutered it, and it's not as good as expected anymore.
Oh, that sucks. Now, is like OpenDNS still pretty good on the adult content side?
With regards to what exactly?
Nudity, trying to keep out like pornographic sites.
Like
stuff.
blocking it? No,
Yeah.
As far as I know, the only thing they've actually block and filter is like scams and actual straight up illegal shit.
Oh, yeah. There's an actual like paid part. Yeah, I forgot about that. It's not on the freebie side. They do have a paid part
on everything. Well, I mean, on the free stuff, I think you can do content filtering, but the only thing that they outright block is like phishing sites, things like that.
Huh. Yeah, because used to they did like adult content too.
I think you can filter it if you're paid, like that being a layer of your content filtering, like say you want to do it for business, but by default they don't.
Okay.
They're pretty open about letting information through.
Yeah.
Right. I only found out about it because I have a customer that's of a certain religious bent, and he found his child looking up the porns, and I thought that would be a good idea to throw at them. And yeah. And then an hour later, he had a strongly worded message for me.
Yeah, so, whenever the tech solution doesn't deliver, right?
So
Yeah, that's
tonight I
fun.
got so tonight I'm spinning up my spare pie and I'm giving it a whirl
Yep.
myself. So
Yeah, and two, that actually is a really, really good solution. Especially on the pie side because it's DNS filtering, right? That's what Cloudflare's doing. That's what whatever the one I just mentioned is doing. Yeah, but Pi-hole, you can do it on a Pi-hole, and there's a lot of lists out there that not only help you block out advertisements and potentially malicious sites, but also pornographic sites too. So, especially if you're a parent and you don't want your kids looking at that,
and you don't have the time to sit there and update and constantly update the list. It does it seamlessly in the background for you.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
it's all about layering.
Yep. Yeah. Again, that onion thought. Yeah.
Mhm. But the one thing that it doesn't stop is DNS over HTTPS, which is what Cloudflare is known for.
Correct. Yeah. But too, you could completely block that out.
Yep.
I mean, firewall side, you could nix that and not even allow it to leave your firewall, which means no DNS lookup then.
Wait, today Ash Wednesday?
Yeah.
Damn it! I should have made an Army of Darkness reference in the damn title.
Ooh. And I did want to hit one thing. It's been a long time since I've heard of Configure, but Minnie said I keep picking up something weird on my network. Configure keeps coming up on Suricata. I think it could be a false flag. It could be. Find out what that source is within your environment. Try to find out if, because we at best will speculate. So it could be a false flag. It could be a true positive. You're going to need to investigate that source and find out what is actually causing that to pop. So. Yeah, and Hector's jumping in there too, so nice. Thank you, Hector.
All right. Well, Adrian, we kept it to the 2-hour mark.
Yeah, that's good. My battery is now down to 75%. Though strangely, it went down to like 79, 78, went back up to 80, then now it's at 75. Anyway, everybody, thank you very much for joining, and